I cannot tell you enough how excited I am for God of War Ragnarok. If you're here expecting a reasonable, rational, cautious view on this game, well, you might as well leave now. Consider this your biased viewpoint warning. Although I've grown up on PlayStations, I've never got around to playing the original God of War games. A lot of my time was spent playing Assassin's Creed, Infamous, and Call of Duty when it was good. In fact, when I had a PS4, God of War wasn't on my radar. It wasn't until one of my friends swapped his copy of God of War for my copy of Spider-Man that I was introduced to Kratos for the very first time. Remember how I said I was going to be very biased? Well, here we go. I believe that God of War is the greatest game we've seen this century. The presentation, the story, the gameplay, and the characters were simply perfect. I think the only complaint that I had back when I played it was that at times the game did feel a little lifeless. However, since 4 was teased at the end of God of War, the sequel is a game I've sworn myself to play. Although the PS5 was released back in November 2020, I'm still yet to get my hands on one. From the insane demand for them at the start to eventually getting to the point where I wasn't bothered, owning a PS5 hasn't really been on my radar thanks to my PC. But come November 2020, the release of God of War Ragnarok will have me camping outside a game store, fighting a 40-something-year-old man for the first spot in that queue. This game will finally make me buy a PS5, and here's why. Before I begin, close to 90% of viewers unsubscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it if you took this very moment to quickly subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, God of War was not only a masterpiece in introducing the game to newcomers such as myself, but to bring back and impress the original fans too. In fact, with everything getting rebooted left and right, it's hard to find examples where the latest entry of a series can unite both old and new fans. Take note, Star Wars. The introduction of Norse mythology in the world of God of War was brilliantly executed and left us longing for more exploration of the 9 realms. Ragnarok is set to continue the story a few years after the events of God of War 2018. With Freya pissed with Kratos for killing Baldur, is it Baldur? And Thor angry with the death of his sons and half-brother, Kratos isn't exactly the most popular guy around. The story will continue to revolve around the relationship between Kratos and Atreus, with Kratos walking the line between being the father he never had, to kicking his son down a Sparta hole, to Atreus' role in Ragnarok, and understanding why his mother wanted to call him Loki. This time around, God of War Ragnarok will let you travel to Asgard and, okay, do not hold me responsible if I butcher these pronunciations, Vanaheim and Svartalfheim, meaning you'll be able to travel to all 9 realms. The combat system is set to be expanded on and fine-tuned, with a new range of various enemies from across Norse mythology. The combat system in God of War 2018 was so satisfying and fun to dive into. It sort of reminded me of when I played Arkham Asylum for the first time and how fresh that felt. And finally, Cory Barlog, the current creative director at developer Santa Monica Studio, has seemingly confirmed that God of War Ragnarok will conclude the story from the first game. He states in a previous interview that the complexity radiates out like ripples in a pond. We could make it an ocean and have those ripples just go for thousands of miles, but is that necessary and is that beneficial? Or are we feeling like, you know what, it's just spreading it too far apart? Take note, Star Wars. All signs are pointing towards this being a continuation from God of War 2018, with the world bigger, more environments to explore, and a story set to do Ragnarok a lot better than its Marvel counterpart. I honestly cannot wait to get my hands on this game. Seriously, do not expect any new videos in mid-November. I will be locked away playing God of War Ragnarok. Comment down below on why you're hyped for the game and share your own God of War theories too. Thanks for watching. Peace.